Our next scene is gonna be natural window light. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna go to Photoshop, create a new 32-bit image file, and let's create some sort of a window. I'm gonna make some darker edges. Make them slightly imperfect. And blur it. Okay. Let's reduce the opacity. So it's just a bit darker. Right, let's create a new layer. And again, with the black brush, I'm going to draw in the frame. Okay, that's good. Let's duplicate the layer and blur the lower one with Gaussian blur. Okay. And with a very soft brush, low opacity, I'm going to draw in again some more imperfections. And this is going to be our window map. Let's save it as an HDR file. Let's name it window. Right. So now let's create the light. Let's say it's 80 by 80 centimeters large. Right, move it to the left. And that's fine. Okay, so let's create a camera and see how it looks. Just gonna make sure my camera is centered by moving both the target and the camera to 0 on the x-axis. I think that's good. Okay. Now let's create a simple background. Again by extruding the line with a filleted corner. Actually, let's create a line like this. So fillet those corners, extrude, okay, and that's good. We're gonna use a basic white material for the background. Let's set it to 235 white with some weak reflections, blur them. 0.5, and let's use Fresnel at 4. Okay, that's a good start, I think. And let's see how it looks. I'm just gonna load my basic rendering preset, change to Active Shade, and render. Okay, select camera. Fix the shutter speed. Change the white balance to neutral. Looks like our chair is floating. Let's move the backdrop up. And finally, let's add a texture to our light. So I'm going to go ahead and create the V-Ray HDRI map in the material editor and browse my window map. And make sure you set the mapping type to 3D Max standard. Now I'm just going to select the light and drag and drop the map in the texture slot. Alright. Now let's make this light a bit more blue. Select the lower layer and let's colorize it. Slightly darker and slightly blue. Like this maybe. Back to 3D Max. Reload the map. And it should become slightly more bluish. Okay, you can increase the intensity if you wish. That's fine. Now I also want to add a reflector on the right side. Just to show you the difference. How it looks with the reflector and without one. So we'll create a large box. Move it to the right. And you can see it reflecting its own color. For example, if we set it to white, it just makes the lighting a bit more even from the right side, as it reflects the light from the window. So if you hide it, the right side becomes noticeably darker. If you want a more even lighting, you unhide it, and the lighting looks more evenly spaced in the scene. So that's a basic window light setup. It's great for rendering some furniture in a room-like setting. And the reflections are nice and soft, since we are using a map inside our light texture. Okay, so this is great for rendering some furniture. Well, you can also try a different color background. For example, let's try gray. And it also looks quite good. Okay, so that's the window light setup.